Hello, creatives. Thank you for dropping by. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when these videos are coming up, and it would help the channel. And don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so today's thought is an interesting one because I learned it I was really young when I learned it. When I heard it the first time, I didn't understand it, but I heard it the first time from my mom when I was really young. I was having an argument with some friends at school, and she sat me down because I was very distressed, and she sat me down and she said, when you get older, you won't even remember this argument. And at the time, I must have been early teens. I was like every early teenager. I was like, my mom doesn't know what she's talking about. Parents don't know what they're talking about. They don't know anything. I mean, we know everything at that age. But she said something really interesting that it impacted me because it stayed with me. And what she said in Spanish was, "This too shall pass." And I was like, I don't even know what that means. What do you mean it's going to pass? I'm in the middle of the situation. It's the end of my world as I know it. And she said, "Don't worry, it's going to pass. You'll find out soon. Eventually in time, this too shall pass." And I mean, she was right, obviously. But as I grew older, I realized that this is a really powerful saying when you're in the middle of a situation where you may not have control, or it's a situation where you have to be patiently persevering. And I know that sounds like a paradox, right? But many of us are less young these days, and we have issues that are coming up in our families and our bodies as our health changes. And one thing that can keep you going when everything seems to be falling apart is, this too shall pass. And that doesn't mean you want to be cynical or defeatist or you're giving up. It means that in the midst of the chaos, you are like the eye in the center of a hurricane, right? You're the calm in the middle of the storm. Not saying this is easy. By no stretch of the imagination is this easy. But this is a thought process, or a thought, a phrase that you want to internalize. You want it to be part of who you are. You want to be able to say, in the midst of any difficulty, this too shall pass. Because the only constant is change, right? And eventually, it's true, it's going to pass. It's not going to stay the same forever. It will pass eventually. The problem is that we have a tendency to want things to pass right now. And that's not how things happen. And what this thought teaches us is to be patient and persevere. And that's hard because we want everything, we want instant gratification. Many of us, I mean, my generation's a little different, but many of us were raised where things had to happen right away, had to happen now, had to happen yesterday, actually. And we want things to change instantly. And we have a tendency to be part of that generation where things happen quick. And now you can microwave your food and you can email instantly and everything happens fast. And we have a tendency to want our lives to operate the same way. And there are many things that have to take time because that's just the way it is. And so if we can internalize this thought, this one of, this too shall pass, it will give us a sense of calmness and a sense of patience when things seem to be falling apart. And again, it's not being defeatist. It's not giving up and throwing your hands up and saying, that's it, or, this too shall pass, and you don't care anymore. No, it means that in the middle of everything else, you're holding steady. And you know that eventually there's going to be an endpoint. And that everything that you're going through right now that seems like it's the end of the world eventually will pass. So today's thought, I want you to take that with you and internalize it. This too shall pass. It's really important. Seems simple, but it's not. And patient persevering takes time to cultivate. And above all, be uncommon. Have a great day.